Hi, my name is Renee, and this is my fourth vlog, I believe. So today I'm going to be discussing Zami, and I'm going to do a couple different things today. So I want to look a little bit at point of view. So obviously, this is told by Audre Lorde, so this is Audre's perspective. And because of that, we kind of give an insight to her mind as how she remembers events happening or how she's looking back at them and reflecting like now. And based on this, I think one can make the claim that Lorde, on some level, always knew that she was attracted to women. And you can tell, I'm going to look at the scene with her and Tony and then the scene with her and the worker in the comic book store. So on page 39, this is when she meets Tony. So we discussed in class that a lot of people weren't even sure if Tony was real. And that's usually not an assumption one makes about character. You usually trust that these characters are real, or at least real in the story, maybe not real in like their life. Because the words she describes to use, it says on page 38, but this delectable creature, she's describing her as more than human, something unimaginable, untouchable, something not real, something she can't obtain. And because at this point in her life, I think she's like 4 years old. She's just coming to the realization that, I think she has some feelings she doesn't quite understand inside of her yet, that she is attracted to women, that she's having some sexual feelings. Even at that age, we talked about children can be sexual beings, and we don't like to think of them that way, but it is true. And so the way she doesn't think she can have Tony, she's kind of in awe of this moment, and I think this is a real defining point in her life. And we know that, like, she wasn't just playing harmlessly with Tony, you know what I mean? I think she was on some level, but on the other level, she was curious, because it says on page 40, carrying over to 41, but evidently the enormity of my attentions had escaped my mother's notice. Enormity of her attentions, which means she wasn't just playing, she was looking for something else. She was looking for connection. She opened her pants, like, had her hands around her panties. Like, even if she didn't understand what she was doing in that moment, the diction and way she's describing this moment from her point of view clearly tells that she had feelings towards Tony. As well as another reason to support this claim, I'm going to skip ahead a little bit, is page 49, when the comic book worker, picks her up and kind of strips something away from her. It says, and I felt his slabby fingers like sausages grab my ribs and hoist me through a sickening of cigar fumes to the edge of bins full of Bugs Bunny and Porky Pig comics. So the diction she uses here is slabby fingers, like sausage, grab, hoist, sickening. This is her perspective. So we compare the two situations, how they were kind of similar, what she was doing to Tony versus with this comic book worker. I don't believe he's named, I might be mistaken, does to her. Like, she has nightmares about this for weeks. She can't hit the ground. I think in her mind, one, it's the fact that he didn't ask permission. It doesn't say exactly how, like, what the degree of exactly what happened was, but he violated her in some way. Whether it was just grabbing her without permission or whether it was sexual harassment or rape, he violated her. And this shows from an early on age her disgust towards men. She was in awe and adornment of Tony, and she is repulsed by this man. She doesn't want him touching her. She's having nightmares about him touching her for years. And this shows kind of foreshadows in the future that she is gonna fully become this word Zami and take it on full force, even if she doesn't fully comprehend what this word means at this age. And as she grows into herself and her sexuality and who she is and who she loves. So that's all I have for you. Thank you for listening to me.